I'm very open. I love to talk about it. Yeah, but there's a point of my journey right now of spirituality that it's like the knowledge is all there, but it's like walking through mud. But it's on purpose, because the more you try and chase it, the more tougher it gets.
Yeah. It's like a swamp. Not that I've ever been caught in a swamp. In a video game I have. But it's like you struggle in the swamp because you're struggling to get out, right? You know, like there's apparently at least in the movies and in the games, there's a method of getting out of the swamp.
Yeah.
If you fight it, you sink. But if you just sit there
and surrender and I'll be in bliss in your ignorance. Yeah.
That's why ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Like you can never know once you relax and just sink through the mud. There's like another light underneath there. Yeah.
Bro, have you come across Jordan Peterson on Joe Rogan's show? Where he talks about people who are in the pits, like in their life. They think that they're just going to keep sinking, you know, beyond rock bottom, and then eventually break down into hell. But I don't know whether his source, because he's Christian, yeah? I don't know whether or not his source is from the Bible or as a psychologist, is that when you break through the very bottom, you come back up on the top.
Yeah.
Like a video game, you know, you walk off the screen and then you end up on the other side.
Well, he talked about a lot of the dragon, like the treasure is underneath the dragon, that you need to fight the dragon. Or like...
Yes, he did.
Like secret treasures underneath, like the pyramid, like in the depths. Yeah, you need to go in to come out. Yeah.
The hero archetype.
Yeah.
Yeah, hero's journey. Your Star Wars, your Star Wars, and your Star Wars.
Yeah, like Luke when he had to go into the cave, and when he fought Darth Vader, and it was actually a mirror when he split the face, and it was actually him. Yeah.
And what's the newer film's main protagonist? Rey?
Rey.
Remember when Rey fell into the pit after Luke was telling her not to go into the pit?
Yeah.
And then in the pit, it was like very symbolic in terms of like seeing the multiple reflections of her in a sideways presentation, you know, format. It's crazy, huh? It's just like, what is that? Like your parallel selves, or you know?
Yeah.
It's really weird how some of this like stuff that we've come across and spoken about
starting to seep through.
Yeah, and it's showing it quite, of course, symbolically, but quite loudly on mass media. It's like subliminals, eh?
Have you seen Everything All at Once?
Yeah. Bro.
Yeah. Like legit, I watched that with my friends. They didn't get it, but I was there sitting there and I was like, this is so beautiful. It's talking to me.
Yo.
Yeah.
I watched that one during lockdown. Pirated, of course. Don't pirate. Don't pirate, motherfuckers. But you might have to remind me of some of the symbology in that, because there's so much happening, man, because it's an action flick as well.
Yeah.
And then it's a mother-daughter relationship.
Yeah.
You know, and then you got the father, the husband. Even his story, he was a childhood star of Hollywood. He was in Big Trouble in
Was that him?
in the tribe.
Really?
And I think he's on Indiana Jones as well.
Oh,
And he's
I didn't know that.
And he's Vietnamese, bro.
Uh-oh.
He's not Chinese. He's Vietnamese. You know, like I think Chinese speaking Vietnamese.
Yeah.
though.
He's not the Asian kid in Indiana Jones, right?
That's him.
No.
That's him. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's him. I'll fucking have a fucking banh mi in my mouth if it wasn't him, man, you know? But yeah, there's so many parallels to that, hey? You know? Like, there's so much going on in that. Because what's the name of the movie again? Everywhere, anything,
All at once.
All at
Yeah.
once. Like, what a fucking bold title for a film.
Yeah.
Like, what shit is those writers tripping out on?
Yeah.
What existential, like, experiences have they had to write and create a masterpiece like that?
Yeah. That everyone doesn't understand.
Right?
That's art.
That's art.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking funny, bro. Like, I said it in a stream the other day. Fucking Neo and Trinity from Matrix. They're dumb cunts.
Why is that?
Well, one, the original Morpheus wasn't in the new film,
Oh, yes.
right? And I haven't watched the new film. But when Morpheus is there, it's like, you take the red pill, or you take the blue pill, right? And of course he takes whichever pill it was, I forget. I haven't watched it so long.
Yeah.
So that he goes to see what the real world is. And then how that became like, for the masses, it kind of became the meta and metaphors for like what's happening in real life. Before us living on our phones, being tethered to our phones, right? Then the premise of the new movie, without spoiling it, and I haven't watched it either, right? is that they have to be able to live within the two realities. The virtual one, the plugged in one, the Matrix, and what the decrepit real world is with those sentinels or whatever they're called. Yeah. So, Neo, Trinity, all of them, they should have just swallowed both pills, bro, and had a fucking purple pill, man, in the first film, man. And we wouldn't have to get to this fourth film.
The middle way, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
The middle way, bro.
Yeah.
And then you know, just because of how the show's called The Long Laterally Thinking, right? This show, you know?
Okay.
And so it doesn't matter what tangents you go on, they'll eventually link up with something or go full circle, you know, whether I control that or not, whether you control that or not, because it's all related. Yeah? And so I'm like, yeah, and then Eminem and D12 were rapping about purple pills.
Yeah.
They're probably not related the way we're talking.
Yeah.
But we've just synthesized pop culture to make it all make sense. You know?
But it could be like the collective unconscious of that. How you were speaking about the monkeys with the two islands and how it's replicating.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it could be that the art itself is manifesting through the unconscious of the collective to produce that bloom. It's without us knowing, we're actually all interlinked, and it's blooming out into this art that we can say, like the first Matrix, very masculine, and then we have to like follow this male masculine. But then in the last Matrix, the fourth one, the undertone of the story is that, for me, is that he's not the main character anymore. He has to trust femininity, which is Trinity, and Trinity's the one now. Yeah.
See, this is why I gotta watch it. I had the option to watch it, but then I opted for something else.
Yeah, that's all good.
On Saturday night. But it's interesting, yeah, that you raise that point, because both the Wachowski brothers are now trans.
Yeah.
Which is, that's next level, yeah, in a good way, right? But then, have you noticed in the past 5 to 10 years, a lot more opportunities and women's rights have been advocated in a way that's still not perfect, but a lot of women have stronger voices and in much stronger positions of power, at least in the West, But that's not to discount other cultures where the woman was always the matriarch, whether it's female or male presenting, you know what I mean? And then that opens up conversation about the divine masculine, divine feminine, and then I'm using wordplay here, but it doesn't necessarily work out like that.
We're using word salad.
Word salad, I like that. Word hello, yeah?
Just mixing it up.
Just mixing it all up, yeah, because that's slang, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like I have a friggin' tertiary education in linguistics and languages, and etymology and all
We're
that.
from the street, bro.
Yeah, bro, exactly. Fucking hip-hop shit.
Yeah, man. It's like even flipping the word dope, like how you were saying yesterday.
Like if one day I was to like change my whole look up, get breast implants, and you weren't feeling it, and then you were joking about it with your homies, and one of your homies is like, yeah, fresh, bro. Fucking lum is fresh. Like, because it's a duality.
Yeah.
There's always a duality. Like when you say something's good, here's a good one. Bad meaning bad, not bad meaning good.
Yeah. Or, yo, that's nasty.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Oh, that's sick. That's ill. The negative connotation gets brought to make it mean that it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Right? But then still, its original meaning holds true.
Yeah.
So it completes that cycle.
Yeah. Or we can go even deeper and like spelling.
Spells. Let's go.
But then like taking that spell away and putting our own spell onto it.
You're always hacking it, bro. You're always hacking shit, man. I like that. Because it's intention. It's always been about that, right? Like, what's the intention with that word? Let's flip it up and say something controversial on the same topic, right? So if I'm POC, then what does it make people that's not POC?
What's POC?
People of color.
Yeah.
And I understand, in the language that is needed amongst certain people who need to be politically correct. Mind you, a lot of these dudes aren't involved in actual real politics. Yeah. And you're going around, I'm a multidisciplinary artist, of 2 years. Cool. Yeah, sweet. Early days in your disciplinary, I do 20 million styles.
Yeah.
And I'm POC. Like it's a fucking trendy card. That's the bad way to use that. You know what I mean? You can see where maybe the hidden intention, the hidden spell of claiming that identity is basically saying in a politically correct way that you're a fucking brown, black, yellow, red cunt.
Yeah.
Rainbow cunt. To who? Who then? What's a person who's not a POC?
Yeah.
It's a enemy or oppressor or colonist or what the fuck? We're all people, man.
Yeah.
Don't call me a person of color. I'm brown.
Well, I think it's needed on both sides of humanity because we're just speeding through the universe on this rock and we're just boom here and then what we're doing, we're like shining a torch in the darkness. Like, what's this? We're like, fighting or conversating or, but it's needed to like, we're here, we have a voice, we exist, we can feel things. Yeah. What is this? Why? Where?
Exactly. And it's in ways us unplugging and plugging into whatever this system is. You know, this mainframe.
Yeah.
You know, Matrix is done. It's this new mainframe with all sorts of shit going on, right? When really, like, all of this pigeonholing and then unpigeonholing in your fridge, you know, your source of comfort for a period of time. You just need to fix the light in your fridge, you dumb cunt. Right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh yeah, I identify as male presenting, you know, passive aggressive, wanting to connect with masculine and feminine divinity within oneself, that is very sexual, right? As an example. I don't know where my joke was going. but it's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna let it go. There was a metaphor to go with the fridge and the pigeonholing and all of that. Oh yeah, that's right. My pronoun is b-boy. Because that's what I do. I am that. I'm not just a boy. You know, I'm 39.
Yeah.
So I'm an adult. I'd like to think I'm a mature adult with responsibilities and obligations, but I'm b-boy presenting. If we're going to use that talk, you know,
I identify as child at heart.
Yeah, right. Inner child work, you know, shadow self, you name it. There's so many. It's like there are the scientific, psychological expressions of that. There are the new age expressions of that, you know, do you identify indigo? You know, do you identify as, there's so many, like there's the silver kids, there's like fucking ruby, like I can't remember I didn't go down that far, that wormhole.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, when you're taking it now beyond a westernized point of view, let's say Carl Jung, and who's the other guy that the other psychologist that made a lot of work with him as well? Freud,
yeah.
Like they catapulted that science for the rest of the world. They're still unpacking it. But what if we start going like pre-colonial Philippines, you know, then just a particular country within what eventually became the colonized Philippines, and then they're identifying markers. You know, are you a Babaylan? Are you you know, like shamanism and all of that? It's just it goes another level. You know, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Bleeding out of your third eye. Internal bleeding.
Well, all I know that behind this physical and behind my eyes of the pupil is just nothing in space and blackness. Yeah.
Yeah. Like void.
Yeah.
But like necessary.
Just imagine.
Good void.
Yeah. Or bad, you know, like there's no good or bad anymore. Like if you lose all your sensations, your mouth, like eyes, ears, nothing. Yeah. It's just.
It's just.
Or not.
Yeah. Yo!